So, if I ask you what major changes, maybe one or two key changes that you have seen in the past 12 months in the book market, what are you going to tell me, Scott?
You know, I think there's a couple of things that we see as major trends. Obviously, the run length decreasing is a really well-known issue. I think probably in the last 12 months, what we've seen is a lot of increase in color. And actually, for us, in the book space specifically, the majority of our pages have been color, not black and white, which I think is somewhat surprising, but a lot of that comes as a function of the coordination that we've done with some of the publishers to bring about the right solution, and at the same time the coordination that we've done with the paper manufacturers to really have a substrate that would make printing color with inkjet really a viable solution.
Okay.
Yeah, I think in the past 12 months there's been a number of items. We've been focused heavily on getting the word out. We had the next chapter event several weeks ago in Boulder, where we had 14 different customers came in, primarily from North America, and we had especially for the books types of customers coming in at event Boulder to take through our solutions and get input from them. And I think some of the things we've seen in the past 12 months is number one, substrates. I've seen much more adoption of and interest from the paper companies in the one-off kinds of solutions. I think that they're seeing some of the volume of offset dwindling, and they're looking now and doing some work to customize and optimize some of the medias and substrates, which we're working with them on. I think that's a later question. And we're starting to see some, again, improvements and changes in the finishing arena. So finishing is changing, media and types of substrates are changing, and what we're doing in concert with that is we are continuing to enhance our platforms, our hardware. We're enhancing our capabilities, both mono and color, in terms of output, and we're our workflow to provide electronic or hard copy delivery.
I think the only thing I want to add to those discussions would be the crossover point from running jobs on offset to digital is really increasing as we're able to really drive costs out of the inkjet solution. We've seen a lot of pressure now to start reducing your SLAs, so your turn time is now in hours maybe, it's not in days. This really starts driving the digital convergence as well as inline finishing and some kind of an automated workflow. And so you want to have as little touch on the front end as possible, just have it all happen for you automatically, kick out the back end, and I think that's where we're seeing the business.
I think what we've seen is a pleasant surprise when all the inkjet came out. I mean, there was a lot of concern what would happen to those systems that do not have that capacity. I mean, the inkjet systems are offset killers. And where would the work mix go? And we've seen tremendous growth in high-end cut sheet platforms in the book business. So what we're seeing is the clear differentiation of the platform as the new book delivery system on a global basis goes from offset to inkjet to POD, the kind of delivery system that you see from both NIC and from Lightning Source, all the way down to printed retail. So you're now beginning to see this structure come into place, and there's as one of our peers mentioned, they have 60 platforms already on the inkjet side. This is going to be the future of book manufacturing. I think you're clearly seeing set up now very rapidly. Again, you go back to the adoption rate of offset presses, which was very slow for the book business. You take a look at the adoption rate of inkjet presses in the book business. And now it's a question of why aren't you at the party if you're a printer? If you're going to be a big centralized printer, you have to go out and get one to compete. So that has really crystallized at an amazing rate of speed in a very challenged economy. You saw the printers go out and make the investment anyway, and that's kind of a big surprise.
So with what's happening in the industry, what is the most impacted today? I mean, it's obviously offset equipment, but also continuous feed, toner-based, monochrome machine. I mean, is that fair to say that?
I think we're looking at the technology side. You got to look what drives it. What's driving it is lower quantity. The real surprise in all of this is the enabler of this, which is profitability for the trade book publisher in ebooks. Take a look at all of their financial statements. They all reported increased profitability on very small growth. So what's happened is on the trade side at least, you're able now to run this improved inventory management system, which you need because ebooks is taking up to 20% of your revenue, which is a higher number of unit sales. And you're able to, as a publisher now, you're able to control your manufacturing costs at a lower and lower rate. That's what's enabling the inkjet. They have to print fewer because they now have the ability. We've trained them. This industry over the last 5-6 years has trained them how to manage the inventory better. Now you give them this great tool of Inkjet, the right tool at the right time, as eBook sits there and really compresses their ordering cycle and causes them, gee, how many do I risk now? What's my mix going to be on that first printing? So their ability to do that and do it profitably is what helps drive everything at this table on the growth scale now. The only people that suffer is offset.